Welcome back, fellas. Let's put this in the ether. You know what? Compare men and women when it comes to stress. I believe that men handle stress more than women, better than women, if anything. All right? Because when you look at it, when you look at the position of guy, what guys doing, right? Guys, right? I think women don't have any stress at all. But for some reason, guys can handle stress way more effectively than it is for women, right? When women have a lot of stress on their head, right? Crack under pressure, right? They crack under pressure. They have a mental breakdown. They seem not to get themselves together. But guys, when we're in a position of stress, we know what to do. Most of us know what to do, right? We take our time. We get into that zone in our head and we tackle one thing at a time. Women cannot do that. Most women can tackle one thing at a time. They have to go do this, do that, do this, do that. But a guy, we already know that in order to take one things down, in order to get things down, we have to tackle one things at a time in a certain order, so we won't have to build up much stress. This is why a lot of guys, the way they think, right, is totally different for women, and because the way we think, right, we are built to handle more stress than women. This is why a lot of guys, right, there are more guys who's in leadership position than there are women, right? There are more men team captain handle a team better than it is a woman team captain, right? A woman team is what I see, right? I'm not saying anything's. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, right? When I see a women's team captain and a project manager, right? A woman, right? They get more sporadic. They get disorganized when they're in the position of leaderships, right? They tend to not prioritize things correctly, right? They tend to focus on more than one things, and they get sidetracked easily. This is what I'm seeing, right? When I'm in a focus group or a team membership where you have to work in a team and we have a woman leader in our management group, right? For a guy, it's totally different. Guys, if he's a team leader, he call out the shot and he try focusing on what he's doing. He's not trying to focus on helping other people because he know how to delegate all the rules of what people need to do and get things done. If people don't get things done, he assert his authority and he don't focusing on that one specific person. He expect people to do it. If you don't, he gonna probably punish him. Women are least likely to punish a person if they fucked up. They're more least likely to give them chances and chances. The thing is, people how to say this, follow orders from a person of authority. All right, a man, when he's in a position of authority, he assert more straight. Women, when they're in a position of authority, they assert more emotion, which is less straight. So people tend to take advantage of a woman more than they take advantage of a man. Because if you take advantage of a man, he'll put you in check. He'll put you in place. But a woman more easily to give you chances and chances, and this is not conducive to running a business or anything, because you just can't give second chance all the time. When you give second chance all the time, people will usually abuse you, right? Will usually take advantage of you, right? And then when that's get to a certain point, right, a woman will completely lose control of her leadership. That leads her to not to handle stress, not to handle situation as a man, right? So that's what I mean when put into leadership positions, because women, oh man, how do I say this, right? Women are too forgiving when put in a leadership position, right? When you're forgiven, you're not taking a leader. A leader not supposed to be forgiving, right? He's supposed to be authoritative, strong, right? If you effed up, you have to fire that person and let him go, right? A woman in leader position, they tend not to do that, right? They tend to be soft. I'm not saying all of them like that, but most of them are majority like that. Most of women I work with are like that, right? And I understand, sometimes you don't want to be so rude, or you gotta be, of course, like you just don't want to fire anybody, but in order to run a successful operations, you have to be assertive. That's what I'm talking about. Women are less assertive than it is men. But we're coming back to the stress, right? To stress, when you put that kind of amount of stress on a woman, they tend to not be organized. Men are more organized when it comes to that kind of situations, right? We tend to follow things by step, order. A woman follow things like out of order. She think about this. She try to help people out, right? She try to help people out doing things that she's not supposed to do, or help people out and all these stuff. I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, but you're in the leadership positions. You're supposed to delegate to the other people. That's the people's responsibility, not your responsibility. A guy understand that. Guys will delegate things and they expect the people to do their responsibility. A woman, they delegate things for other people to do, but yet again, they tend to get out of place. They tend to immerse themselves in other people's position, other people's duty, and try to help people out. Like, don't do that, right? That's how women usually get sidetracked, usually get overwhelmed by the workloads, right? And that's the thing too, right? And that's the thing that compounded the stress, right? Too much workloads, and women don't when they think, look, they think by getting more workload they can handle it, right? Guys know the limit of what they can and can't handle. They don't know the limits, right, of what they can and can't do. That's why a lot of women out there try to prove a guy they could do this, they could do that, right? Lifting this, lifting that. And then when it comes to a time when they do it, they fail to do the kind of things, and then they put their foot in their mouth, right? They find out that they're incapable of doing the things that they thought they could do. When a man knows his limitations, right? He's like, all right, I'm not gonna do that, right? I know my limitations. I'm not gonna take that much workload. I'm gonna do this first. After I'm done with that, then I'm gonna do this. Women tend to take too much workload and try to think they could finish everything at once, right? When in actuality, it's just an overwhelming amount of things for them to do, right? This is what I'm seeing in the work environment, right? So, and that leads them to not handle that much stress, right? This is why I believe that when women are in a leadership position, like executive positions, they tend to fail in that kind of situation. For instance, like a president role or a world leader, right? And because of that, they tend to quit a lot, right? When reality hit them in the face, they give up, right? They relinquish their duty to somebody else. They resign. They don't care, and this was bad for companies, right? When they had to put a woman as their CEOs, right, as their president. When this happened, it usually leads to the downfall of the company. The company will find it hard to recuperate. The company will file for bankruptcy and all that stuff, right? There's many companies that has been like this, right? There's many companies that have been struggling when they have female executive in their positions, right? And then what happened? They tend to quit because it's too much stress on them, right? Guys are just willing to stay there, right? They're willing to deal with the stress, right? They're not willing to give up. But not only that, it also comes back to the household. When women have too much stress in the household, right? What are the main outcome when it comes to a family, right? When they have too much stress in the household and they have to deal with the husband and stuff, right? What does that usually lead to, right? That usually lead to for them to give up on the relationship, file for divorce, right? Give up on their husband, right? Don't support the husband, right? Instead of being there for the husband, supporting him, and all this stuff. No, they find an easy way out of the situation. That's one thing too. When they find it hard on them, right? When they find life hard or things get hard on them, like a lot of stress, right? They always take the easy way out, right? They always take the easy way out. Like they can quit, give up, resign, right? Instead of try to find the solutions for the situation, for the problems, right? Fix their problems. Try to find a common ground to deal with the situations, or try to find a way out. No, they tend to take the easy way out, which is usually quitting in a situation like that, and that usually destroyed the family, destroyed the husband, and they don't understand the consequence of when they're doing that, right? And not only that, they're able to understand consequences, right? And this is why, right? This is why they have a lot of stress. Is their inability to understand consequences. They take a lot of workloads, not realizing the consequences of them not finishing that workloads, right? Not finishing that workloads, that means you have more responsibility. If you fail to do the workloads, you might get fired. You might overwhelm yourself. You might have a mental breakdown and all these stuff, right? And this is some of the things that I think, right? that leads me to think that women doesn't handle stress as well as men. Men handle stress way better than women, right? That's why a lot of men are in leadership position. They're in this position of high stress jobs. They're in position of coordinating a lot of things, right? Women are more of a assistance leadership. That's what it is. We're I don't want to say they're more of an order taker, but they're good. They're great at taking orders instead of distributing orders, instead of delegating orders. That's what I think, and it's nothing disparaging. It's just the way how they're wired, how they're hardwired or programmed, right? But I don't know. That's what I think when it comes to stress and how men deal with it compared to women. But let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know if I'm conveying my thoughts clearly enough. I know I could be everywhere at once and get off sidetrack, but let me know if you agree or disagree. Leave your comment below. If you like my content, I drop videos daily. If you want to support me, like, share, and subscribe. And on that note, guys, as always, peace and blessings.